Yep.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank
You
you.
ran a good campaign.
Yeah, I kept it nice and clean, and I think the people heard it, and
The people spoke.
not only them, but I took every precinct, and I thought that's a first for me, and it just shows that I'm providing services. All right. Item 4, consideration possible action on approving minutes of June 15th and 16th, 2016.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 5, consideration possible action on approving contract with RRY Services LLC for bridge replacement, circle number 23 and district number 3.
This is another FEMA project, but I'll make the motion to approve the contract.
It requires just the chairman's signature. It's the same exact contract on the last FEMA bridge.
One of them we already got paid for, didn't pay for.
Well, we got to build it, pay for it, and get reimbursed.
The reimbursement process is in. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Yeah, we opened bids on this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So just got to do the contract and get it built.
And if Mark calls you, this contract works a little different. Lowell's got to sign off on it, but he couldn't sign off on it until we received the bonds that were required, because he has to sign off that he himself saw the bonds. I will try to get them to him Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning.
Did our DA not get someone over here that can sign them?
As of right now, there's nobody here.
That might be a topic of discussion during our budget meetings.
That ought to be handy, you know, instead of us running stuff back and forth Stillwater all the time.
Yeah, well, and I've got a couple other things, so I'm just telling you, it'll be some point when I can meet up with him next week. Let
Okay.
Mark know if he asks.
All right. Thank you, Troy.
All right, on to item 6, consideration possible action on approving resolution establishing participation in ACO SIP for workers' comp for fiscal year 16-17 and selection of payment option.
Margaret, have you ever heard back on that company that was gonna give us a quote?
Have not. They were working with us on getting our equipment lists and all that stuff, and I don't know, Troy, have you heard anything back?
The gentleman contacted me, it's been a couple weeks ago, and at that time I sent him what I had. I told him, I sent him the lost run statement, or the last one I had. I sent him the ACO policy. Dusty from ACO called me the end of last week, inquiring about whether this stuff had been done yet, because they were trying to get the invoices done, and he asked me if we were seeking other quotes, because he had been contacted by a gentleman looking for information. And I told him that we had, but at that time I hadn't received anything back, and I have not heard back from Midland since I sent them what I had.
But our insurance runs out today.
It does.
That's not a good thing.
Nope.
So the payment option, we get a break if we pay it all up
We
front?
do. If we pay it in one option, it's $189,979. This is the workman's comp. If we take the two options, the total becomes $195,678. So we always, or the last several years, can't say always, but the last several years, we've tried to do it in one so we save the money.
So it saves us $5,500, $6,000 to pay.
Correct. Now, I will tell you, I believe, and that would have probably been an error on my part, but this is one of those instances that the estimate of needs is going to probably, I think I missed the mark on being able to temporarily appropriate 100% of this, so we may have to make a little change to that so we can make the payment in July as a single option. Also, and I emailed all of this out to you guys, I think last week. I will note that this year, on the option form, they've actually split down how much of it actually is comp source, which is the actual carrier, and what ACO's charging to administer the workman's comp program. $179,045 is the actual insurance premium. $10,934 is ACO's handling fee.
Got about 6% or something, I think.
So
Yeah, go, I mean, I just had one other question, then we can get to the motion. If we approve this with a one-time payment, and these other folks come back, say in 2 months, and say they can save us tens of thousands of dollars a year, what's the chances of us going back to ACO and saying we wanna change insurances? I mean, what's the contract, how's the contract?
Well, all, you know, we have is this resolution that I've sent
Right.
out. I was just glancing through here.
Does it give us the option to change, is all I'm
You know,
asking.
that's really not mentioned either way that I'm seeing.
Right.
I would only assume if we make a one-time payment, we're gonna be locked in for
Yeah,
12 months.
that's kind of what I was thinking too, just,
And we make 2 payments, then we're gonna be out $5,000.
oh, we don't.
Unless we want to withdraw, and then we wouldn't send them their second payment. We go with another
But,
company, is that what we're
Well, see,
basically saying?
I was just thinking out loud because, you know, we did engage this other company. They thought that they could save us some money, although we haven't seen any numbers yet. But we're kind of in a quandary. We gotta have insurance. There's no way we can go without
True.
insurance. So I was just looking at, do we wanna lock ourselves in for 12 months? Or do we wanna, it would be a gamble, right? Because it would cost us more money to split it up to where we might be able to get out of that.
Or we can revisit this in a year,
You know, I don't,
next year.
I don't know even splitting it up if we're still not locked into a contract or take, you know, say, hey, we're gonna do 2 payments. I'm not sure they wouldn't say that we're still binding to a contract.
The resolution doesn't specify, however, the intent to participate form that has, where you select which payment option, does read, for binding coverage effective July 1/16 through June 30/17. ACO SIF accepts and authorizes issuance of the Association of County Commissioners of Oklahoma Self-Insurance Fund Workman's Compensation Policy incorporating the above payment option. The resolution being different, but I do think that this is intent that you're gonna be there for a year.
I agree.
Sounds like it.
Go ahead, sir.
I think we're gonna be locked in for 12 months, either option you go. I just think keep the 5,000 as give it to ACO.
I second that.
So I'll make the motion that we go with SIG, ACO, option 1 payment. And hopefully within 12 months, we can get these other
Yeah,
people.
it'll give us time to get that done. Yes, I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 7,
Sign
consideration
that.
possible action on, well, if we want to go there, action on resolution establishing participation in ACO SIG for property and liability insurance for fiscal year 16-17.
How much is that this year? Did one of them go down?
I think we're in the same spot here. It did go down.
It went down just a little bit,
The
not a
liability,
whole lot.
the liability issue, insurance should have went down. I think that's what we talked about last time.
The total due is $217,977. Again, they have a payment option. If we pay it in full, we save $2,670. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't recall the payment option saving money on the SIG before, because we've always paid it in 2 payments, always.
Mhm.
Had that been an option, we would have shifted to workman's comp, or like we do comp and paid it in 1. So I think that might be something new with ACO allowing the split payment, saving money by doing the split payment this year, or by not. The way they break that down is, you know, we have a deductible fund, and then the premium for property and the premium for liability. So that $217,977 is not just insurance premium, it is the reimbursement to the deductible fund as well, which was $40,000.
Doesn't sound like much if you say it real fast.
And so I guess with this one, you also have the option of splitting it into 2 payments.
Well, let me see the payment.
And then this is
options.
Well, this is what I want to see right here.
Yeah.
What you wanna say about paying it?
Doesn't want to say what the installments are.
It does.
On
On
previous
that,
one.
Oh, on that one.
Well, yeah.
It will say
Oh, I see it now.
$2,670.
2670.
Yeah.
Well,
That'll put a coat of paint on
Better than
the
nothing.
courthouse.
Do that.
yeah, 2670.
And I will tell you that in doing that, in allowing to pay that in full, that comes out of general government's M&O, beginning with the new fiscal year. The request, we will have to amend the estimate of needs and the temporary appropriations to be able to do that and leave any money in that account to operate till we get a budget, because we've never paid it in full, so that wasn't allowed when we calculated,
It wasn't an option we considered when we did our estimate of needs.
right, and the
That's what-
temporary appropriations that are up to be approved tomorrow, which isn't a problem, I've already calculated them,
Mhm.
because the way temporary appropriations work for the general fund accounts is we appropriate half of what was received last year as temporary. Half of what was received by general government M&O will not cover this in full. I can make the adjustment, it's not a problem, we can appropriate however as a temporary, but I would have to do that before we come in tomorrow to approve it, so.
Would we as a board have to approve that change to our part of the budget request before we,
I think the
or
estimate.
can we do that during that meeting?
Okay, we have two things there. The
Yeah.
estimate and needs can be amended. It doesn't have to be before the temporary appropriation, because
Right.
that's a different thing.
Right.
All the law says is that when we temporarily appropriate, we cannot appropriate more than the total budgeted amount last year. Historically, we've always temporarily appropriated 50%, except we've had a couple of exceptions there, and work comp has been one. We had to appropriate 100% to be able to pay the premium. Now that the property and liability is allowing that savings where if we pay it all, we can save some money. I just need to change the temporary appropriations that'll come to the board to be approved, so the board can approve temporarily more, enough to cover this.
I temporarily understand. that.
So,
Thanks, Troy.
I make the motion to go with option one.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And that's this one too, right?
and just as a footnote, when I emailed all of this out to each of you, it should have included your insurance verification forms that need to go in all your vehicles. If you do not have that in your email, let me know and I'll get them put in your folder.
Would you put an analog copy in my folder for me too, just in case?
All right, moving on. Wait for you there a second.
Got it.
All right. Item 8. Consideration and possible action on approving fiscal year 2016-2017 vehicle use agreement with National Insurance Crime Bureau for Sheriff's Office.
This board, it's only been, I think, about a month ago that we did the initial on this. This is, they're working with a company to provide a vehicle to use in crime prevention. I don't want to get too detailed. But because of the
We don't
fiscal
wanna give
year,
away the farm, I understand.
because of the fiscal year change, now this is for 1 year
Got it.
of that.
And understanding what it's being used for, I'm going to approve this. Move we approve it.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item 9, consideration of possible action on approving correctional communication services agreement with City Telecoin for fiscal year 16-17 for the Sheriff's Department.
It's an annual contract for inmate telephone service.
I'll move with approve.
I'll second with a comment. Jim, I'd like for some time for us to discuss some of the things that we do over in the jail like this for telephones and commissary. I don't want to get into it real deep right now, but I do want to discuss, you know, the contracts we have,
You don't have to sign.
how much the contractors are being paid out of that, how much the county gets, and those sorts of things,
Sure.
just to kind of,
Yeah, we can break that all down.
right, all right, sir, just, thank you. I
Call
move
the
we
vote.
approve.
Moving on to
And
item,
then call the vote.
oh, did,
I made the motion.
Yeah, he motioned, I seconded with the comment, and
Right.
now we need to vote.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, all in favor? Aye, motion carries. Apologize. Okay, we're down to item 10, consideration of possible action on approving maintenance renewal agreement with Vistacom for fiscal year 16-17 for Sheriff's Office.
What's Vistacom?
Voice recorders.
It's the recording of the lines when people call in.
Okay, thank you.
I'll move with approve.
How much is that? Just,
$339.29, $3,929.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Would that be one of them deals that follow like what we discussed in the CED meeting the other day? Once you start, you can't quit.
Well, I was wondering about the archival and all that. That came to my mind too, just with what you just said.
Item 11, consideration of possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 renewal with Leads Online Investigation System for the Sheriff's Office. That's $948.
That's used to, somebody breaks through, steals something from your house. We have a suspect that we think it is, and we can check all the pawn shops. They can check all kinds of stuff and investigate for
I'm
us.
familiar with that system. Yes, sir.
And that helps a lot.
I move we approve.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Item 12, consideration of possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 agreement with Dan's Pest Control Services for the Sheriff's Office.
What's that cover, Jim?
They kill all the bugs.
Lice?
Inside and out.
Lice?
Yeah, bed bugs.
They kill just about anything we can kill.
I didn't know what the pest was. Kind of curious.
Do you have a special room with the gas nozzles that come out of the ceiling? And
Yeah, we haven't got one of those yet.
Good.
What the hell? Make the motion.
Second.
Aye. All in favor, yes. Aye. Motion carries. Item 13, consideration of possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 service contract with Cardiac Science for AED services for the Sheriff's Office. No one?
I hope you don't ever need one.
Well, do we have one over here?
Yeah, I think we do in David's
Okay.
office.
Yeah,
Well,
David has one.
We added, they're all throughout the courthouse, sheriff's office, but we also are adding them to our patrol cars. So
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I just bought a battery for ours in our shop. That's,
Do we have, I know you do, I know you do, I was just, if we've got those outside of, you know, our first responders, do we ensure that our folks are trained to use those?
There has been training classes for them. There's one hanging in my office.
Okay.
When they were first distributed, they came on and David Ball would have to tell you all the details. They came on like a grant program when we got them, and they only allowed, I think it was one per floor in the building. So there was one placed in my office for the first floor, and then the second floor had one, and we had a training class when they.
my guys is having a training class as well.
Yeah, and they'll train, and they're gonna be trained.
I don't remember having one out at our place.
I think this,
Um,
Well, and the new ones have an audio step-by-step You pull it out, it tells you step by step what to do next.
Yeah, that's the way ours.
Right.
It tells you
Yeah.
where to put the patch.
Oh,
Yeah.
that soldier proofs it pretty well.
It does.
Showing.
Not idiot proof, but soldier proof. Yeah, got it.
Is there a motion on that
I'll
item?
move.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carries. Item 14, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 agreement with Harris Interact for the Sheriff's Department. Interact. We got a grand total of $2,449.95, and what is this, mobile?
It's for our OLED system.
Colette?
OLEDs is anything that you run, driver's license, traffic stops, car tags, anything that goes through
Oklahoma law enforcement. what?
Telecommunications.
telecommunications.
Thank you. I move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 15, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 agreement amendment with Advanced Correctional Healthcare, Inc. for inmate healthcare for the Sheriff's Office.
I'm assuming this is for the doctor, the
Nurse,
The nurse and all that.
you seem to be doing a pretty good job from our 6 months ago, so. Yeah, you wanna,
what's the other? Don't matter. I mean.
I'm not.
Well, it kind of matters.
If you gotta have it, you gotta have it.
$141,146.15 for a year.
Say it again.
$141,146.15. It breaks down to $11,762.18 a month. And we have, I think, a $12,000 pool for any overages. And we actually were under last year, and we're gonna get money back from our pool. We didn't spend all of it. So
They take care of all the medications.
if somebody has to go to the
doctor,
emergency
nurse.
room,
So if you arrest somebody who's got diabetes or something like that, you don't treat them like Oklahoma County's done.
No.
So.
No, no,
I like that, Jim.
we have a doctor, we have people that come in and check on them and everything.
Okay. Well, that's kind of expensive, but it's important.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion,
absolutely.
we approve it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Motion carries. Item 16, consideration and possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 contract with Office of Juvenile Affairs for detention transportation for the Sheriff's Department. So what's this? How much are you spending on this? You have any idea? Just contract.
They have to contract, that's where they do the juvenile detention transportation and they bill back. This is allowing what they can bill back.
Gotcha.
That they're agreeing that they're gonna accept.
Is it
What
set
the
a max,
state-
is it set a maximum amount? Is that what it does?
I think it's all by the mile and the hour and the hour.
you have to ask Candy on juvenile transport billing. I think it's different than regular billing.
You can't really set a max because you don't know how many juvenile criminals you're gonna have in a year.
How
Right.
far you
It
get.
I'm just curious on how we put a fiscal constraint on something. I mean, we never would like to write an open-ended check, I guess
Right.
is what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
right?
Well, this
I
is the
agree.
state agreeing to pay them and them agreeing to accept these fees.
See what
$12.
That's-
They pay us
Right,
Oh,
per
right.
mile, for how far we go and how many times. we
And
go.
then per hour for the
Deputy.
personnel to do the transport.
All right,
That's more we're receiving than.
Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll make
So
a
it's to our
motion.
benefit to do it.
Absolutely.
Right, we,
You were gonna make a motion?
I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 17, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 professional services agreement between Barbara Tennyson and Logan County Health Department for clerical consultant services.
Just another annual for those at $12 per hour.
Jay signed off on it. I'll move that we approve. Just the chairman's signature.
Yes.
I'll read that.
So it's a part-time agreement for clerical services, is that
Yeah.
basically? Okay.
Not to exceed 30 years.
All right.
Get a motion on that?
You made a motion, I'm waiting on a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item 18, consideration and possible action on approving juvenile detention contracts for fiscal year 17 with Osage County Juvenile Detention Center.
This is where we pay money, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to get that straight.
Yeah.
This is the housing cost of the ones they're getting paid to drive to these facilities.
Jim gets paid to drive there, we gotta pay to be there.
Do what, Mike?
I said, you get paid to drive there, we gotta pay because you're
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And we got reimbursed a little bit last year,
Mm-hmm.
more than we've ever had.
What's the, do we know the estimated cost on that?
It's a per day, and total cost for the year is undetermined because you don't know how many are gonna be at each facility in the system. Each facility charges a per day charge.
It's interesting to come up with a budget on something you can't put a top
Too
end cap.
many
Yeah.
variables.
Well, I mean, to physically constrain a budget, it's hard to have an opening to check like that.
And each facility charges different amounts.
Right.
Yep.
What do we average, 30,000 a year? that we spend on it?
30, I'm gonna tell you between 32 and 40,000 a year, and that comes out of general government M&O.
Right.
And we have no idea. They'll call us at 2 o'clock in the morning, and say we gotta have them here at 6 for court the next day. And then we gotta go get them, or take them over there, then go over there and bring them back.
So we can't house juveniles here at the county?
Yeah.
Nope. I'm just trying to catch up.
Now, you
Okay.
can't house a juvenile with an adult, so.
So technically, we may do that, but we'd have to have a separate holding
Right.
facility for that purpose.
Right.
I see. Okay, thank you.
And
I
you
want
normally
out in my
contract-
district if you want.
You normally contract with a bunch of difference in case they're full.
Right.
Is that the reason you use?
Right, we have other jails and other places that we can take them to if we have to.
So if we had like a surge, and we had an open spot down there, we might be able to temporarily house.
Yeah, we've actually had to hold a juvenile for a murder case. We put them in one cell as you come off the Sally Port, and then everybody else is completely separated from them.
Well, to me, that constrains the budget. I mean,
Right.
we can do other things rather than, we're not open-ended to these people we're contracting with, so that makes me feel better. I'll, motion we approve, make a motion.
I'll second.
Unless you,
All those in favor? Aye. Item 19, consideration and possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 software and service agreement with Kelpro for the following offices: County Clerk's Office, Commissioner's Office, and Sheriff's Office. That's District 1, District 2, and District 3.
Why don't you bring yours with you?
I did not.
I've got, Terrace will be running ours up.
I have yours.
Okay, great.
I have yours.
Hey,
Lonnie?
I got a quick question. Why is the treasurer not in this?
The treasurer uses a system provided by TM Consulting that is software designed for their treasurer's offices.
Right.
They were already in that system and on that program before Kelpro expanded to a treasurer's program. Treasurer program through Kelpro is recently newly
Right.
available.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there, we don't have to discuss it very long here, it's just if there's any benefit to all of us being on the same kind of type of system as we move forward.
As far as that, TM Consulting and Kelpro have worked together for years to interact. So for instance, all
So
the
they do interface and import reports and that sort of
Right.
stuff? Okay, great. Okay, thank you. That answers my question, thanks.
I'll make the motion to approve the contracts.
Can we get a dollar figure and then I'll second that?
it's on each form
$27,690
for the clerk's office.
for the clerk's office.
I'm in the wrong business.
$27.82 for,
It's a pretty good chunk of change.
you know, it makes the system work. Not sure who these are for.
for the clerk's office, that includes 4 different softwares that are used to operate the 2 different types. It's all the backups, the imaging, the scanning, all of that type of stuff that we do on the 2 sides of the office.
There's 2032.
I'll bring my contract,
That's fine.
but I'd like to go ahead and approve it.
It's 3,417, but I can't tell which is going
Let's
to
see.
what.
We have a proposal and a second. Did we vote on that?
all in
I
favor?
don't have a second. I
A
have-
second.
All those in favor? Aye, motion carries. Item 20, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 agreement with Putnam and Company for budget services.
This is the 2 that Jerry Putnam does. The health department, which is $1,000, it has not changed. And for the county, $5,250, and I believe that's down $250 from last year.
Yeah. Interest, time
She's done us a good job so far.
Do what, Mike?
The state commissioner, but I.
Well, no, it's just where it comes, but you as chairman would,
Yeah.
if the motion approves here. Was that a motion, Monty?
What was that?
I will move that we approve.
I'd like to have a little discussion before we do that on this one. Last year when we were going through the budget process, I asked the gentleman for a financial statement for the county and basically got the spreadsheet. I really would like to see a financial, I'd like to talk to someone that would understand what I'm talking about when I say a county financial statement. Profit, loss, all that stuff. It's just like a business financial statement. And when we ask questions like, how come we have an increase in general fund over last year? And I asked that specific question, what specifically caused the increase? The answer I got was, well, you can go back and look at the spreadsheet and figure that out yourself. I don't believe that I want to pay $5,250 for somebody to just fill in a spreadsheet that's furnished by the state auditor's office with numbers that are furnished by the county. And that's all they do. And it seems to me that we need to look at maybe getting a little better value for our money here.
I think he does a pretty good job. I mean, we did have one that would just make up some numbers.
I understand that, got y'all in a lot of trouble. But all I'm asking is that maybe we try and improve this area a little bit more. I think there's room for improvement here is all I'm saying.
There's always room for improvement.
Unless we absolutely have to approve this today or this month, I think that we should, I would consider tabling it and maybe sending out invites for people that are interested in doing this kind of work to come talk to us.
I will tell you that the auditor's office has a list of approved budget makers.
That's yes, and that's for schools. Schools are required to pick off that list. I don't believe counties are, but I could be wrong on that. But in my research, I think that's the way that works. Counties are kind of on their own for figuring out how to get their budgets done. Again, I'm not saying this guy didn't do a decent job last time, but as far as paying somebody $5,250 to fill out a spreadsheet, that's basically about all he did for us. I mean, even though he may have got the numbers right this time, basically, where another guy just made up the numbers. As far as financial services, I think we should look at something.
If I could
a little better.
suggest, number 1, we can table this item, but number 2, I think budget makers for county government work within their parameter of what they do. I think what maybe needs to be is have a conversation with either Jerry or whomever about what would be considered an additional services above what the budget making
Right,
requires.
so what we're talking
And I'm
about,
thinking that might be the disconnect.
I think you're right, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. We, as a board, I think, need to do a better job on contract specifications for this service, what we expect.
So you got something that you expect, something you want to write out?
Yes, sir. I do.
When do we need to have this done by?
Well, I will tell you that they've already picked up the paperwork because it's
Well,
that
but
time of the year.
he's already been approved last year for this fiscal year to do this budget.
Well, no, this is for this is for
17, 2016, 17, it's not, he's already been approved to do the 15, 16 budget, which we're into now.
the 15-16 budget ends today.
Right, and that's what he's,
And so when you do the budget, you have the financial statement for the previous fiscal year that closed and then the budget
Okay.
for the new one.
okay, I see where you're going. Still, just,
So
I would
what,
like to table it and come, I'd like to try and put together some contract specifications, what I expect for, or what I think we would want to look at, as far as a county financial statement. You know, it's just your basic business profit and loss statement that every business does. I know counties normally don't look at that after they've been in county for a while because they don't look at things that way.
well, and that's why I think that there's a disconnect, to be honest, Marvin, because if you look at the very first page and what we get as a budget book, the very first page, and this is what the state says, is the financial statement for the county. Because
Right, that's
it
the
doesn't
same-
include the
that's the
type of
same-
information.
But that's the same spreadsheet that doesn't bring back the cash accounts and total them back like we discovered
Because-
last year. Because it's an old spreadsheet and it wasn't updated, and that was all the stuff that I got. an
Not on
explanation
that
for.
part. The cash accounts are not part of the general fund.
That
And
doesn't
this
matter.
is the disconnect.
I really don't want to get in an argument about
I'm not
cash
trying to
accounts in the
argue.
general fund. All I want to say is, if we're going to pay somebody $5,250 to fill out a spreadsheet that's provided by the state auditor with numbers that are provided by the county, I think that we ought to have some expectations set there as far as what we expect that person to be providing us as far as information, guidance, you know, what they see as trends. There are trends in county government finance, and we've never looked at those since I've been here. Never's a long time, not a long time, because I've only been here a couple of years, but those are all things I think we need to look at during the budget cycle, and we need a professional opinion on that.
All I was saying is that type of stuff is outside the normal scope of a budget maker.
Yeah, the term budget maker is kind of innocuous as far as I'm concerned. I think we need a financial consultant.
Okay, so you want this all tabled to the 15th?
That's what I would like. I mean,
Oh, I was pretty pleased with him. I made a motion, but.
Monty does have a motion on the table.
I guess it
I
can
think
die.
also, I really am pleased with him. I think you ought to visit with him
But I
and see
think
what he can
that,
get in the way of additional, but I do think that's additional.
I guess I can add to my motion, we can bring him in and tell him what we expect for our
Right.
$5,000.
I think we should do that before we sign this, if we're gonna do that.
I'm
I-
really good with him, aren't you?
And I don't mind tabling it, if you wanna bring him in, tell him what we
Okay.
expect, then do it, but,
I would prefer that. but
And we can table
again,
until the 15th, we'll table it for 15th, see if he can get there.
but, I mean, what I'll go back to is you keep saying, you know, he gets a spreadsheet from the state, we give him the numbers, where else would he get the numbers from us?
No, that's what I mean. There's really not a whole lot of work there other than
Right.
just plugging in the numbers, which
I
is
agree.
about a day and a half work.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
I'll disagree with you on that, but.
That's what I thought we were getting, so, all right.
So it's tabled till the 15th?
Yeah,
We can
are
do
you
that. See
gonna
if he
call
can
him
make it here on
and
the
ask him to
15th.
come in and visit, or?
I asked Troy to do that. She brought it to the board.
Okay, you're asking Troy to do what?
Called the man to come in on the 15th.
Okay.
but I understand what you're saying there, Troy. All right, on to item 21, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 agreement with the city of Guthrie for civil defense.
This is the annual agreement. It did not change this year between the city and the county for the emergency management / civil defense agreement.
We got them up last year.
We did.
We did. And it's how much now?
It's 10,000 a year, plus they provide the one telephone line, and through them, the cable television service is provided.
But I'll give them a fuel card.
I want one of those cannons of crackers.
I want a fuel card myself.
Civil defense crackers.
Yeah.
Tents.
Those high-speed diesel pumps at Love's, sure kinda wish I'd, almost wish I didn't have a diesel tank so we could start doing fuel in there. Oh, well, we do.
Somebody made a motion on this?
No.
Got 2 signatures on it already.
Well, I'll make the motion.
I guess I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
I
Motion
guess I'll
carries.
vote aye, seems I signed it.
Item 22, consideration possible action on approving fiscal year 16-17 software license agreement with Landmark GSI for the assessor's office. I sure would like to get our copies of those. But they said they'd send this.
No, this is not task.
Oh, this is.
This is her actual working software.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
How much is it?
I'd have to look. I didn't look before I passed it off.
Trainees. I don't see it.
Do we really wanna sign a contract, we don't know how much it is? Here, I'll look, I don't mind.
I bet if we have somebody come next door, we can figure it out right quick.
The annual fees are on this back page. Looks like about 40,000. That includes all those services.
Pretty expensive.
Yeah, if I remember right, that's the software that they use to go out and round up all the oil field activity pipes and.
Actually, this is on, I mean, it makes maps and
Oh, it's the same house.
I'll make the motion we approve.
So,
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. All right, 23. Consideration of possible action on approving resolution accepting donation of utility poles from OG&E to District Number 1.
well, we got about 35, 36 of those used poles from OG&E, and need to get the paperwork caught up on it.
Use them for a pole barn, or any Marvin?
No, we're gonna use them for barrier materials. We cut them in about 9-foot lengths, and we've got a little stinger tail that goes on the back of the backhoe that drills the holes, and we drop them down in there, tamp them, and then screw the barrier material to those, and you got a nice barrier right there. And it's low cost,
There you go.
low maintenance. They break the pole, you replace it with another one.
I'll make the motion we approve.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 24, consideration possible action on approving resolution accepting $25,000 donation from Sherwood Lane homeowners to District Number 1 for road paving within Sherwood Lane addition.
They've got about $3,200 in their, 32,000, excuse me, in their rural road fund account. And so they're adding this 25,000 to that to get approximately a half mile in their neighborhood overlay, asphalt overlay. They're a little, I don't know. They're kind of overreaching a little bit on what they want. They're wanting a 3-inch pour, and I've run the figures for them, and they're just about $10,000 more on what they want versus what they got. So we've sent that back to them, and they're working on what their contract really should be. As far as I've recommended a 2-inch pour, that'll put them in budget. But anyway, this is $25,000 donation from them to do that overlay. And what we will do with this, and we'll put it in a special fund. Troy's already got set up for us. And as we do the contract, if it's $47,000, I think there's like 53 total by the time we get all this in there. If it costs like $47,000, we're gonna draw this $25,000 first. And we'll leave whatever's left over in the road fund, rather than pull the road fund out, because that wouldn't be fair for them to do it that way. So we're gonna expend the 25,000 first. So I ask consideration on that.
Who's doing the work?
We haven't put it out for bid yet.
Okay.
That's gonna go out for contract bid with the standard 3 or 4 around here that do that kind of work.
Okay.
I'll move to accept the donation.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Before you read item 25, it was pointed out to me about 8 o'clock this morning that I typoed on the agenda. This is a donation
It's too bad, it's going to District 2.
to District 2 and not District 3. So I will let you all decide what you want to do about it, if you want me to lay it over and take no action and re-agendize it or what, but it is for District 2, not District 3.
Can we legally authorize pending change to the agenda items? If we can, I think we should just go ahead and move forward with it.
I think it's just a typo.
It is a typo, and I think we've identified that. The resolution says 2.
It does.
Yes.
But I think we'll give it to District 3.
I disagree, so I don't second that motion.
I'll make the motion we approve, recognizing there's a typo on the agenda. It should be District 2.
I'll second that with the addendum.
All right, all those in favor? Motion carries. All right, item 26, consideration possible action on approving resolution disposing of equipment for our assessor's office. 2005 Ford 150 transferred to Logan County District Number 2. Little housekeeping. So we have that Ford pickup, and it had a motor problem, and we fixed it. So
All right.
make the motion.
So you had it and were using it, and it broke, and you fixed it, and they decided
They
to keep it?
had left it out there for years because they didn't know what to do with it. It was costing too much.
So basically, we're just trying to get the
And
property
so-
inventories.
And
worked
so
back the
what
way
they
we're-
did
Okay.
was they took it over to our death row that we have over there for county vehicles, and we pulled it out, fixed the transmission, now we're transferring it.
Can I bring all my used tires over there?
Not really, but if you need a used tire picker-upper, we've got one if you want.
He's supposed to be coming.
Oh,
All right.
we found a guy that pays like $50 for tires that are
Yeah.
any good if they're not
Yeah.
all the way through the stiff belt.
Sure.
I make the motion we approve the transfer.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Item 27, consideration of possible action on acknowledging receipt of notice of tort claim from Southwestern Bell Telephone and forwarding to ACO County Claims.
Okay, which road grader did that?
That's mine.
I could have been me, and it could.
I can tell you that this is,
Normally me.
I can tell you that this is not gonna be one we're gonna pay. Most likely.
You know,
I
we've
make
been
the
in,
motion that we recognize that.
we've been in a little scandal with them out there on Indian Meridian Road. They say we didn't call in a locate in their actor. We did not. The city of Langston called in a locate because the city of Langston's road, we was helping them with the project. So now they've done a tort claim on us. I mean, and we probably did cut the line. But the locate was called in.
Would someone like to acknowledge receipt of that?
Mike did, and I'll second it.
I didn't hear
All
that.
in favor, aye. Motion carries. All right. Item 28, consideration of possible action on acknowledging receipt of disaster recovery plan for District Number 3.
Now, I haven't read your plan. Is it moved up to our barn? I'm just curious.
Well, I actually only had one location on here, then I had to change it. They think I ought to have more than one location, so I think it's the community center at Crescent and the Logan County Fairgrounds.
Is that something that the auditors that are here, have they looked at that and kind of almost blessed it? I know how they almost do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's the first time they brought that up.
And I don't really think it needs to be an agenda item. I just wanted to put it on here and
Paper trail.
acknowledge.
Well, it's good to get it done before they get out of town. too.
Well, I'll still get dinged for it.
Well, we all will.
We all are.
But
I
I-
have one.
We didn't know.
I'll move I'll move to acknowledge or approve that or whatever we need to do as long as I get a copy of it that I can steal.
And I'll vote aye.
All in
I don't guess
favor?
it's set up for motion, but.
Well,
yeah,
it was, money, this wasn't a requirement to come
Right.
here, you just wanted it on here, so I
I
wasn't
did.
quite sure how to word it, so I worded that they would just acknowledge receipt of yours.
I move we acknowledge receipt of District 3's disaster recovery
Okay.
plan.
I'll second.
And I'll vote aye.
Aye.
And you can have all the copies you want.
You're a nice guy.
There you go.
I have it in a Word doc.
Yeah, can get with you. Item 29, consideration of possible action on canceling PO 150432 in the amount of $80,000 for paving County Road 69 in District Number 3 on CBRI account, and approving issuing new purchase order for asphalt for paving County Road 69 in District 3 for fiscal year 16-17 on July 1 of 16.
Is this moving from one fiscal year to another? Is that what we're doing?
Essentially, it's,
So we can complete the project?
I made the PO, go ahead, Troy.
well, I was just gonna say, that this was actually drawn on fiscal year 14-15, so it's been laying in reserve for a year. And Monty and I talked about it, I can't continue to do that.
Right.
The scope of the project is going to change from the original in that it was originally going to be done as a laid in place for $80,000, but Monty is now gonna lay it himself. So we're gonna change the scope to the purchase of asphalt
Delivered to.
delivered to this project. But this will allow me to cancel this reserve PO and encumber the new one, and the item I wrote and such that we will not encumber this till July 1,
Okay.
We
meeting
can't,
tomorrow.
we can't do the laid in place, you know, that's.
Right, that's 6 month bid on that. I move we approve, I understand it now. One quick question, after we vote on this is, we can talk about it after we vote on it, but like I said, I move to approve. I'm curious to how much we'll save by you doing that, because
Up there in District 3, it'd be a little more, I would think.
yeah, because of the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we is it laid in place,
Mhm.
and we can't do laid in place.
Right, well,
So-
I've kind of got an estimate, I've got an idea of what what the asphalt companies are charging to lay asphalt,
Right.
you know, per ton. And that's basically how they bid it, is by the ton, right? So they charge you a dollar figure per ton to do that, so, you know.
I really wouldn't know unless I went out for bids.
Yeah.
Like I say, this was made in 14, so it's gonna be a lot of difference between 14.
We're actually
Yeah,
gonna open
absolutely.
some laid in place bids here in just a minute.
Yes, we are.
But, I mean,
Not late.
the zoning, you know,
Project.
I'll be zone 4 up there.
Oh, yeah.
So my price is always
Higher.
several dollars a
Yeah,
ton higher
because it's
than
further
y'all.
away. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I moved to approve. I was just curious
I'll
about that.
second.
All in favor? Motion
But I
carries.
can't
Okay,
answer
so-
because I don't know.
Here's what I've done, I'm gonna cancel this one, I just wanna make this clear.
We'll try and get that. So I've got some.
Mike,
some
you as chairman
chip
will
seals
sign
kind of the
here.
same thing in
Okay.
my mind is not the same thing as asphalt.
The board needs
But
to
that-
sign
they'll
here.
probably let
I've done
yours
it for the
cheaper
same
than what I can buy in town.
$80,000
Right.
that we
Because
had
it's closer to the
before.
plant. They don't have to go as far.
I did not put the vendor on here because when I wrote this up way early this morning, I wasn't sure which one you had to deliver up there. Is
Wait,
it
we haven't
Campbell?
done it yet.
And that was my other point, is it's on a bid that we haven't awarded yet. So the vendor is blank for this purpose. However, the total for $80,000 is identified. It will not encumber until after the change of the fiscal year.
But I can tell you, I went through and highlighted who I think is gonna be the best.
Okay,
in
well,
the
I can do
district.
that after. I don't think
Okay.
that is
Okay.
crucial to this, but as this makes its way down the table, I wanted to explain why I didn't have a vendor on there.
Okay.
So Mike, you need to sign here and the board down here.
I'll vote aye on that, by the way, if we haven't voted.
Do we have a motion?
I thought
We
I
do,
had.
we have a motion and a second.
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries. All right, item 30,
I only know if that's on
consideration
your
possible
agenda.
action on awarding sealed bid for rock hauling table from June 15 to 16.
Rock hauling. I didn't bring my sheet with me. I had mine all highlighted up, forgot to bring it with me. Rock hauling.
Well, I'm gonna stay with where I've been going, Stuart Stone.
This is rock hauling.
This is
Oh, I'm
rock
sorry,
and
rock.
rock hauling. I think what
Okay.
we've done, if we have a pickup and a
combo.
delivered, both in the bid.
Okay. So, for, picking up, it's gonna be Stuart for me, and for hauling, it's gonna be Brown Transportation.
Stuart.
They're the lowest bids, I believe. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Stuart.
yeah. They're the lowest bids for me.
Well, if at all possible, just for
No,
the
they're
purpose
not
of my
the lowest.
notes, if I
They're-
could do this in order.
Okay.
If D1 can tell me their selection for pickup.
For pickup. So that's not hauling.
D1.
Hauling.
Mike, you reach that fan switch. It's not hot in here. There might be Saturday.
It is warm.
Camera.
It is warm.
Stuffy.
Oh, is it camera? It does add 20 degrees to the room. Check out. Delivered to. This is asphalt, crushed asphalt.
We're on rock.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to find. That's what I've been trying to, crushed asphalt. Rock hall delivered to. All right.
So we're on pickup by district first.
Yes. Pick up by district. Is this two?
They're all, it's the same
It's
for
gonna
all
be
of
the
you, but
same.
you're gonna go pick it up.
Yeah. Okay, I remember this now. Yeah, the Lisi Brothers is way out of our scope as far as driving to get it. Mine is a Quapaw drum ride, is what we're looking at. It's a little bit closer than Pawnee for us.
And for hauling in,
For hauling in, that would be Joe Brown.
District 2,
Sorry.
And burn my note, Terry.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate that.
District 2, pick up rock. No,
Okay,
pick
the
up.
pickup rock, the closest for us is, and best is, Stewart Stone at
Which-
Cushing.
Stewart Stone at Cushing.
Mhm.
Troy, if you wanna make
All
a
in.
separate note, District 3 is the same or on that one. But, I mean, we can do it one at a time.
And for hauling is low bid is Brown Transportation. About 55, 60 cents less.
And so District 3 for hauling,
I believe it was Brown Transportation, but let me swing through here.
Yeah, 23.53 versus 24.30 for Joe Brown.
It was Brown Transportation.
Both bid.
okay, so I want to clarify, we have Brown Transportation is different than the Joe Brown, and District 1 is taking Joe Brown.
Let me look at that again. I thought that was less expensive for me.
It's a 2-page there.
It is. This all fine. Picked up. Yeah. Where did you get it?
Joe Brown is actually cheaper in District 1 Zone 1.
Yeah.
Brown Transportation would be.
Yeah, that's what I thought, that Joe Brown was cheaper in my
Okay,
zone.
District 1,
Yeah.
that'll be on the next page, I guess, Brown. Or you can look at Joe's here.
Well, yeah. Let's see, Brown 24, yeah, 40, 30, let's see, let me look around here, this is what we buy, 1.5 inch, 22, yeah, 23.
Okay,
Joe
so
Brown, yes, for
so I can-
delivered.
reiterate and then ask one of you all to make a motion following this. District 1 pickup of rock will be Quapaw Drumright and hauled in by Joe Brown. District 2 pickup will be Stewart Stone at Cushing, haul in by Brown Transportation. District 3 pickup will be Stewart Stone at Cushing with a haul in from Brown Transportation.
Change my pickup to the same as the other two.
You wanna go Stewart at Cushing?
Yeah, if we can get it, the challenge I've had with them before was we would call them and they were always out of what we wanted.
If they can't provide and we note on our requisition, we can move over to the other.
I mean, they are closer than Drumlight. Drumlight's further down the road, so it's a few more miles down there, so.
Okay. So with that change, would someone like to make a motion that we award that bid under those?
I'll move that we approve.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Now, asphalt products.
Okay. She's gonna go with D1 first.
So much for rock.
Sir?
So I think she's gonna ask D1 first.
Okay, so we have awarding the bid for asphalt products.
Picked up.
House on that rock. On that rock, I was disappointed for our legislature. It was that bill that would have made it $15. Would have been anything under that, we could have just wherever we can get it is where we go. But they lowered that to, what was it, $8?
It's
I think.
7, but they
7.
increased it from 3, so.
They did
They
increase
split
it from
you,
3.
they met in the middle.
They get there, but they really do need to make that 15. All right.
If the legislators wanna help us, they need to change this
Yeah, they do.
They may
Certain
change a
money.
lot of things.
Yeah, they
Certain
do.
money.
All right, item 31, consideration possible action awarding sealed bid for asphalt products tabled from June 15th.
District 1,
Haskell Lemons.
okay, we have 2 items. We have pickup.
Right.
Can we start there? You're gonna pick up at Haskell Lemon?
Well, no, that was delivered.
Okay.
Excuse me. Pickups. Well, yes. They're much cheaper.
It's a long ways to go,
You
though.
might consider the haul is the reason I went with Atlas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where is that? I mean.
Atlas is on Waterloo Road.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know where they're at. Haskell Lemons.
They're South City, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah.
Like,
So that's $3 a ton for A. A is the most.
I use B and C more than anything.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
It's
B and
$5
C.
difference a ton for B, and about $9 difference a ton for C. For me. And depending upon the up and back, I don't know. I'm gonna try Haskell Lemons this time. They seem, I don't think we spend that much diesel going that much further down there to get it back. If we have to get it, we very, very seldom go after it
And hauled
for hot
in.
mix.
we're gonna be doing that.
Haul
So we'll
in,
see how they perform.
haul in would be the same, Haskell Lemons.
Now, you've had it hauled in, haven't you, Monty, for, how's that worked out for you? Who'd you use?
It's only, well, I've always went with TJ Campbell, but they didn't bid.
All right. When they haul it, is it then,
And
it's only
if
one
we're
way.
asking, while we're
is it
on,
good?
cold mix,
Was it good? Go ahead.
do you wanna do cold mix while we're on it too? I think that would tie everything up.
Oh, I see where you're going. I was,
Yeah, cause
I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna
okay.
have a different vendor. for
right,
cold
and
mix.
so for D1 for cold patch,
Is Logan County Asphalt by the ton.
okay. District 2, pickup asphalt.
Pickup asphalt, we'll go with Atlas. It's close. And for delivery, we would go with Haskell Lemons. See how that works.
And cold patch,
And cold patch, I've really had good luck with Tennessee Materials. They didn't bid the bulk, did they?
They're $8 a bag for a 60-pound bag.
On bags, I mean, you know, but we
And
don't
that's-
use that. We use bulk more than
That's
anything.
several $100s a ton.
And I know they're no more than that, 95. Golly,
That $95 a ton here at Logan County is hard to beat.
And actually, they came down because it was 99.
Yeah.
yeah, they wanted to meet TNC. And so, I'll try the Logan County asphalt on the bulk. I'm still looking at the bag, that's 10 pounds more for 50 cents. That's a good 20% more for only 50 cents, get 50 cents a bag more, so
how far you gotta drive to save that 50 cents?
they deliver.
For $1.50 they deliver.
Well, where does it say that?
This is pickup, and this says 60-pound bag delivered is $9.
Oh, okay.
So
He
for
does,
$7.50, you can drive right up the road, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
well, and he's got a policy, when he's come this way, he'll bring a whole load full and not charge us for delivery. So if we buy
Ain't the way he
like
did it.
50 bags, which that's
So
what
that
we
ain't the way
normally
he did
do.
it though.
No, that's not the way he did it.
I said he bid it at $9. but,
Right.
I mean, you do
Yeah.
whatever you want, I don't care.
All right.
I kinda care,
I mean,
They don't care.
The way it's bidded, you're right. You're right at $9.
I would point out, just to make sure that you all are aware, because I just looked down and realized what this was, is on Logan County Asphalt, they've qualified their bid that they have a minimum of 50 tons unless they're already running asphalt.
That's hot mix.
That's hot mix, so.
So this got put on the wrong.
It doesn't, that doesn't apply to cold mix, because they don't have to sell it the day they make it.
Okay, so,
Right.
I
Hot
see.
mix they do, or it turns into concrete.
I'll have them
Should.
change where they
We'll
put
get
their
as far as
little,
they can.
I'll have them change where they put their little asterisk when they do these sheets.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, while he's studying, Troy, why don't we go? with
Okay,
Atlas?
pick up for District 3.
I'm gonna go with Atlas, they're not the low bid, but my reasoning is, will be, one, they're a lot closer, so to be fuel plus labor, I think it'll save me money.
Okay, hold in.
Haskell Lemons, low bid, Logan County Asphalt on coat patch. Any more questions?
District 2,
Okay,
cold
well,
patch.
Hey,
we're
while he's
still
studying-
going, we can go pick up the bags. So I'll go with the bags with TNC, but the bulk, obviously, they didn't even bid that. So I'll go with Haskell Lemons on bulk. We do mostly bulk anyway. So
Haskell Lemon, he bid. coat.
No,
But,
Haskell Lemon
see, the
didn't
thing
bid gold
is-
cold patch.
when we buy the bulk, they come deliver, we go and get it.
Commissioner,
Yes.
the only bid that we received for bulk cold patch
Is Logan.
Logan
is
County.
Logan County Asphalt.
That's correct. So we gotta go with that.
If
So you're
buy
gonna
bulk,
take Logan for both, bagged or bulk, you'll take Logan County Asphalt. You have two vendors that bid
Right.
cold pitch at all, and that is Logan
So
County
I
Asphalt
only have
and
a choice of one or
TNC.
the other.
TNC did not bid bulk, so your only option for bulk is Logan County
Right,
Asphalt.
right, that's
Can you
what I
not-
was gonna do for
Can you not
bulk.
take the asphalt by the bag with TNC materials and asphalt by the bulk, Logan County?
Yeah.
He can,
I
but
think
that's
that's what
where I
he's-
was heading.
Yeah.
He flipped it.
I think
Right,
that's what
right,
he's
but
trying
what
to
I'm
get at.
saying is bulk I get from
Okay,
Logan, and TNC is who I'll get.
For
my
bags.
Bag.
all right, would someone like to motion now?
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor?
But I'd also like to point out that no one bid crushed asphalt.
Hey, I wanted to talk about that, so go ahead.
So I asked Troy to send out bids for crushed asphalt.
That's a good deal.
So
Why did we not get any response back on the crushed asphalt thing from all those folks?
I have to assume,
I hope it's not all gone.
no, I will assume
Yes, ma'am.
that the
There's
vendor
only one person
who has and provides crushed asphalt is the vendor who improperly submitted a bid, therefore they were rejected.
Aha. Yeah, that makes all kinds of sense to
So
me.
would that make them a sole source?
No, it will not.
I was concerned over seeing that sheet and every one of those vendors had no crushed asphalt on it because
Decide 35.
it's.
I don't think that they provide it. I think that there's a limited number of vendors who do it.
Well, I was concerned about not being able to buy it for 6 months.
Like I said, I have to assume
And it's under seven.
because the previously the vendor who has supplied that bids
Yeah.
were rejected.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Thanks for bringing it up.
I just like to rebid it.
I do too.
It is going out
Yep.
today.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right. Got that done. Item 32, open seal bid 2016-20 for paving, Forest Hills Road between Center Road and Coltrane Road.
One more.
In consideration,
We
possible
could've moved
action
him up.
on awarding said
Yeah,
bid.
we could have. He's a patient guy.
This is a
Yes,
project
it
bid. I will tell you, we have two qualified vendors in Haskell Lemon and Atlas. We're the only qualified for appearance at pre-bid, and each of them submitted a bid.
Whose project?
And Forest Hills between Center and Coltrane. 3-inch overlay. Used to be, but they gave it back to us when they found out that it cost too much to maintain the road. No, I mean, they gave it back to us for some reason. I'll just leave it at that. They decided that it was ours when I asked them to chip in some money to help us do that center mile.
Well,
But
Connie Sorrell really appreciates that. Oh, she's a Simpson.
Okay, Atlas,
She's a Simpson.
124, 375. What you got there?
168, 527.
Okay.
I don't know if it's apples for apples.
Yeah, so we've got, okay. 221 lift. So they bid $73 a ton. Atlas bid $55 a ton late. That's where the money's at.
So,
There we go.
They can do it
Haskell
close.
Uh,
Lemon.
So you see where I was
This
going?
is delivered, right?
Yeah,
You're at 73, so Haskell Lemon will deliver to me at type B 54.
mm-hmm.
So there's
$19.
They're charging almost $20 a ton
ton
to
to
lay it. And where Atlas is probably charging about $5 a ton to lay it, or 6-ish, right? But anyway, 124,000 versus 168,000, I don't think there's much decision here, for me anyway.
Yeah, and these guys do that all the time, so they're good at it.
not near as good as me.
Well,
You are pretty good at it.
you're not too
I
bad.
motion that,
You come down and do
we
mine
take
anytime you
Atlas's
want.
bid as the lowest and best.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Atlas wins the bid. All right. Open sealed bid 2016-21 for clearing trees from Simpson Road right-of-way between Ward Road and Coltrane Road. And consideration possible action on awarding said bid.
We only have one qualified vendor. We actually sent out, which I thought was interesting because we sent out,
Several, wasn't it?
we sent out 6.
Mhm.
And I'm really surprised that Asplin didn't as one of them. But we only have one qualified vendor, that is Arbor Masters.
Let's see what they say. Probably gonna do it for nothing. Gonna donate it to
Oh,
Logan County.
cheap, yeah.
No, I thought they were gonna make a donation to
Yeah.
work on the road.
So let us do it and we'll pay you all.
All right, let's see what we got here.
ODOT said no.
ODOT said no. Holy smoke.
So no more for D1.
Just
Yeah, my.
little travels around my district, I ran across a guy and he's got a brand new skid steer with a great big old mulching machine on it. He can take out a tree like this with that sucker. $100 an hour, what he charges.
How long does it take him to dig out a tree?
Now,
I got a track over it.
You do, don't you?
I do. I think you got one, don't you?
I think I do. I do. But you know, just to mulch up a, by golly, get her done real quick. I
What'd
got
you
a
come
lot
up
of
with,
uses for
Martin?
that
Way
guy.
too much money.
Everything time.
No, this is way too high. There we go.
That's your bond.
Want to table it? Think about it?
Yep. So he's bonded.
No, I wanna put it back out for bid again. It's too much money. That's way too much money. $73,800.
So what is it we're actually bidding?
Clearing the trees on mile and a half of Simpson.
Is that
Traco?
taking the trees out? and
Yes.
Disposing of them?
Well, I asked to have it bid, having them disposed of and then having them brought to our yard. Actually, I was gonna whine a little bit with you about getting them burnt, getting them piled and burnt.
4D
But
does
but
when you do that.
I know, but I didn't see two bids there
Get your pit
on that.
yeah, that we could cut the disposal fees.
Well, that's what I asked, that you bid that both with and without hauling the trees out, you know, to the, and I didn't see that on here, so I'm gonna reject this bid and ask that we reopen them again.
If, I will ask the commissioner to modify his motion.
Yes, ma'am.
To include the fact we're gonna reject them because it exceeds funding available.
That's it, exactly, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 34, consideration of possible action approving the following temporary road crossing permit for Select Energy Services and Pure Oilfield Services. And they're running a 10-inch, I thought he said 4-inch, but 10-inch flat water line. Oh, that's over there on Council in 74.5. Brian, they had a spill over there in my area of salt water, and they were using fresh water.
I want to
So
say
that's
we,
not on this one. Okay, this is yours.
yeah, I want to say we do no action on this. I'd like to go meet with them and,
On both items,
On the
we have two separate companies with
Select and
permits.
Terra. Yeah,
Select Energy is working at Council and 74,
Yeah.
75, and then Terra is over on Bryant.
well, here's my problem with Terra. I don't know why they even did it, because they've already done it. They already got the lines laid, so I don't want to approve anything.
Did they contact you first?
No.
Give me that.
Ooh,
I believe that's a big fine.
that's a naughty, yes, that's a naughty.
I got one going down Harold
Oh, this
Road.
is Select, I need Terra.
They did contact
Thank
me.
you, you guys have a great day.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So just kind of a FYI, fellas, on that tree clearing thing. I contacted those guys and they came out and did an initial estimate for me on doing that. And the initial estimate was around $32,000. So that let me know that it needed to be bid, right? So I mean, I couldn't take that, so it needed to be bid. So we bid it and they come in with 70,000 plus. And I'm thinking that's, and they knew they were the only bidder, so I didn't think it's not in the best interest of the county to accept that bid. And that's why I wanted to send it back out.
So did you have a pre-bid meeting?
Yes, we
You
did.
had to
We-
attend?
Yeah, he was the only one that showed up, and we walked the mile, and we got orange X's on all the trees and all that stuff, and we went through there just like we did with the fellow that did the initial estimate for us. And it's amazing that there was like a $40,000 difference in one to the other.
Sounds like it changed.
Commissioners, I would point out that the permit that you don't want to do anything with does specifically say, installation without first securing permission shall incur a fee of $2,500, and no future permit shall be issued until all costs, damages, and other requirements of these rules and regulations have been met to the satisfaction of the Board of County Commissioners.
So be it.
So they owe us some money.
Before we approve it, I'd like to go view it.
Yep.
So do you want to actually just table
Yeah.
until you visit with them?
Yeah, let's just do no action. Then I've got plenty of time.
That's just for the Terra,
Both.
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 All right. Item 35 is consideration of possible action on resolution appointing requisition officers for various accounts.
Only have one for cash and fire department. Wait. That's receiving, not requisitioning. Are we? So I have none on 35.
None on 35.
This is 36.
36.
Briggs. There you go.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Item 37, okay, is consider possible action on the consent agenda.
There's payroll. Checks.
So, boys go out there and start hacksawing trees down, drop it on the fence. We're kind of liable for that, right?
Farmers sure feel it that way, yeah.
How about them stockade fences in them housing additions?
Oh, Lord. I guess it probably wouldn't be much different. I'd say if the county damaged it, the county is responsible. I know my guys get fences, not real often, just probably twice a week. But they get tired of building fence and they should pay a lot more attention.
If you do break it, ACO will pay for it, so I don't know what the deal is.
Is that kind of like making your daughter wash all the towels in the house so they quit using 4 of them every time they take a shower?
Yeah, one for each leg, one for the hair. We had a fairly new grader operator turned around one day and he backed over a really nice log fence. But I guarantee you when he turns around now, he sure pays attention to that camera when he's backing up to.
He had a camera and still run over it?
Yeah. Them cameras are kind of misleading, you know. Things are a lot closer to what they appear in that camera.
Air curtain.
Hey Troy, the election board secretary, the state reimburses on, do we provide her health insurance as well?
That's what that is right there. The state has a maximum reimbursement. What we receive from the state does not fully cover 100%. Yes, she does receive the health insurance.
So they think that we're responsible for some of it as well. What about her employees?
Their county. We don't get anything from the state for them.
But they do give us a little on this one.
That $3,400 a month or 34, whatever, comes back for her. That's just the most the state will pay.
I just think that trying to milk the state.
Let me clarify that. That's the most the state will pay us. That's all we qualify in Logan County. It's all based on numbers and as to each county gets different based on the number. Court fund and utilities.
So the state appoints the secretary board?
The state election board secretary, I believe, makes that appointment. Yes.
What about the Logan County Election Board?
Those are the 3 positions on that, the chairman of each political party. So the
Okay.
Logan County Republican chairman appoints one, the Democrat chairman appoints one, and
Now the Libertarian chairman?
That's what
I don't know
said.
how they'll do that.
That's interesting.
I don't know. And I forget how the other gets there. Alcohol, beverage. I don't know if they will expand that board. It's a board of, oh, and Erin's the third. That's part of her
Okay.
position, she's the third. So I don't know if they'll expand the boards or what they'll do with that, but that's how the election board is appointed.
Unless the statute says each political party, as long as they're only Democrat and only Republican, I doubt it says it that way. It'll be interesting to see how that works. We done with this yet?
Close. That's it on consent.
That's it.
I'll make the motion to approve consent agenda items.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consideration and possible action on approving claims for payment June 2016. Last one for this fiscal year. And compliances. Got a little stack this time. All right.
Well. Let me see.
Wow. Sure costs a lot to operate a government.
Yeah.
440,000.
Yep.
Is that just for the month?
That was what we just paid for those last 2 weeks, because we pay claims twice a month. But now, to reach that amount, I actually had more POs turned in to pay out this time than we did the last time.
Because it's end of year?
Well, yeah, a lot of them were trying, and I think if in that, I know I would have to look on them, but I think there might be like a project that paid, you know, so you have this one-time huge,
Right.
you know, that 440 is cumulative of everything in the county that was turned in for this run.
You gonna ding me for a penny? Are you serious?
You ding, buddy.
Sorry.
1 cent.
I saw
1
that.
cent.
Oh, no,
No,
that's right.
don't look at that one.
Oh. All right.
Look at the wrong one.
What was that?
I was just looking at the last two numbers on that one. That's a penny too. Oh, no, it's more than that. About the nine
That
cents.
one.
$100, bro.
Holy smoke.
What's that? Kirby Smith, yeah.
What's up with, why would in the world would Logan County Asphalt do that to you?
Just the way it works.
You just don't care. Oh, boy.
Kirby Smith.
Did have one.
Now you know why I wouldn't make a big noise.
I would have never pointed it out. Until you make the noise.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean here? Invoice before PO. Well, it was actually $3,301 less than what we.
There you go. Troy, I'll make the motion, we approve the claims for payment for June 2016.
I will second that.
All in favor? Motion carries.
39, any citizens there to be heard?
Well, not seeing any citizens here, Chris? No? Item
Greg, you're not a
40,
citizen, do you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
He's a public servant.
you're a public servant, that makes you not a citizen. I don't know. You're not a citizen of Logan County?
My peace cannot be disturbed either,
Buddy,
just so you know.
you are a peacekeeper. Item 40, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners.
I only had one on the crushed asphalt deal, but we done that.
Yeah.
I've got one. I got an email this morning from ACOG about our dues for the county. And I spoke with Troy a little bit this morning before we started the meeting, but it appears that we've got a bill with them of $8,487 we need to address, if we haven't looked at it already. And it sounds like we might need to bring that up.
Did we?
Look at it at the next meeting. We just got the email this morning. I think all of us, it was sent to all of us, it was just, it popped up on my phone about the time I got here and read it, and thought I'd bring it up.
I'll look and see if we pay
Annual-
that annually. We may have it, it's not triggering in my head.
Yeah, annual dues for ACOG, I didn't remember that from last time at all, but.
I do know there is an annual dues.
And the thing of it is I think that would just be considered a bill, so it wouldn't necessarily come to the board. It would just be put on and paid like a normal bill. So if the board wants to address it, we need to know when we can put it on, because otherwise it wouldn't be handled that way.
Right.
Anyway, that's all I had as far as my comments.
All right.
I guess I got something else. The other day at CED meeting, we was going through our budget, trying to trim
The CED budget?
Yeah, trying to trim down some numbers, and there's really a few line items that I see that we trimmed off. I brought up one about the CED manager's salary. I didn't get nowhere with that. I was kind of on my own. But another one was rent. You know, instead of renting an office there, is providing an office somewhere else. And I told them, I guess with that building over there being the trust building, I guess it'd be trust business. But I told them that I think Logan County would consider providing an office for Carol. Not to have the board meetings there, but board meetings at the ACO building. But provide her an office.
Because ACO can provide us a meeting space, from what I understood at that meeting as well.
That's probably true.
There was one other person that was saying, yeah, but he wasn't sitting at the big table with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said they can provide a meeting place for us to have, so we don't have to go to that law office and,
Down there in that basement where the pool table is and all
and
that.
there's never any air conditioning down there.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's very expensive. It's very expensive.
It would be nicer to have it at at the ACO conference room that they have there, and I do agree with that. Do
But
they
anyway-
have office space for her there?
No, I don't think we can do that
No.
because that's SIG
SIF.
SIF actually runs that building. But we can have our meetings there. But anyway, I'll put it on the trust agenda to discuss an office space.
Mm-hmm.
See what the board wants to do about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But anyway, just
I know
If,
Coca is wanting to have some office space over here in the future, so.
but it, you know,
Now, there's plenty of office space.
I guess a lot of these CEDs throughout the state, you know, they're so far in debt now that we're getting our budgets cut. The county is starting to have to pay annual dues to make their payments for them.
Wow.
And did I understand that last year over this year, our RCED actually lost about $200,000 in monies that we had accumulated?
Right, yeah.
So when I talk about trending, financial trends, that's one of the trends that I like to look at is, you know, from year to year, which direction are you going? It should be level in government, right? You shouldn't be adding
Well,
to
isn't
cash
that-
accounts, and you shouldn't be depleting, you know, and going broke. It should be somewhere medium, and when it's not, you need to adjust your expenses. I mean, that's kind of my thoughts on budgets.
Isn't some of that based on gross production?
Well, yeah, some of it is gross production.
That's part of it.
But you can only budget and spend what you get.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, something to think
I mean, the
about.
legislature
But
found
I'll
that
put
out.
that on the Logan County Trust agenda to discuss.
Yeah, sure.
But I hate even being affiliated with CED districts, but I certainly don't want to start making payments to them.
I think every one of them, every one of the counties hate being
In our-
part of that CD.
I think
in
our
CD.
allocations, our yearly allocations will be cut down to like $6,900 for the
Wow.
county. But it was the county.
All right.
Mm.
Why bother?
Last year it was 20,000 per district.
Right. And the year after that, they may be asking us to pay to be members again, like they're doing down south
Yeah.
and some other.
But them people bought oil refineries and getting way out of branch of government.
Have
They
asphalt systems.
That's the other CDs you're talking about.
Yeah. The payroll in, what is it, Donnie hitting them up there, some of their employees are well over 100,000.
Gee, Easters.
I choked on ours, I mean, we're paying ours 80. We budgeted 80.
Is that travel? Let me ask, is that 80 just her
Benefits.
wage and then
That's
any?
fringe, that's wage
That's
and
fringe and everything?
Right.
Okay.
But that doesn't count the infrastructure overhead associated with her office and her vehicle and her insurance and expenses for gas and all the other things. When you get all that tied in, you're getting closer to about,
100.
yeah, over 100, way over 100.
Anyway, that's all I got, fellas.
All right, moving on to item 41, consideration and possible action on adjournment.
I'll move.
So,
All right, motion carries.
all right.
We're done.